A little nasally.
A little nasally.
Okay,
You ready to start?
All right, I'm sorry. You're like a teacher. You guys ready?
Are you guys ready?
Two fingers, two fingers in there.
Be like, get out your sillies, you guys.
Eyes. Jan Wayne Swayze presents a FREE99 podcast. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Twitch, Instagram, and
Now on the TikTok.
search
what's
FREE99 podcast. TikTok. I don't know. I don't have that.
Oh, the TikTok.
The TikTok.
Got it.
Tickety-tock.
I was like, am I missing something?
Stickity rum. Oh, Jan is in the building.
Shout out to all our sponsors.
Oh, shout out to all the sponsors, all the listeners. Jan's in the building.
What up?
JD Fresh. in the
JD.
building.
Hello, FREE99ers.
Rommel's in the building.
I hope I'm not too late to set my demons straight. I know I made you wait, but how much can you take? I hope you see the God in me. I hope you can see. And if it's so, stay down with me.
I didn't know that I was supposed to come with like a
It's just this thing.
entry
It's just-
song.
No,
It's just this thing I do.
a soliloquy. I'm the good only
like high
guest.
It's almost like
Customer service.
it's almost like Tourette's at this point.
Episode
Got it.
201.
The
201 of the FREE99 podcast. We have a returning guest.
Hey.
Returning guest. Been missing this female energy. Rommel, please introduce who we have on episode 201 of the FREE99 podcast.
I have known tonight's guest for 20 plus years, but yet I have no idea who she is. See, as time passes, people change, environments change, and when combined, can be the spark for a revolution. Homeostasis. Biologically, any self-regulating process by which systems tend to maintain stability while adjusting to conditions that are optimal for survival. To put simply, if successful, life continues. If unsuccessful, disaster or death ensues. Enter Prop 64. The legalization of marijuana. At face value, what may have looked like a win for all cannabis users truly lacked equality for all. Our guest saw that.
Come on.
She continues to fight for the future of those affected by the quote-unquote war on drugs by working with companies in the cannabis industry and beyond to provide true equity for those who in the past were judged and sentenced for their actions. When even now, those same actions can be seen as socially acceptable.
Come on.
See,
Say that.
all it takes is a couple minutes, a few moments of your time to learn about who a person truly is.
Come on,
and
now.
what they represent now. Like what I did with Nina, and like she does on a daily basis, fighting to achieve true social homeostasis. The FREE99 podcast
Come on.
is honored to have Anina Parks in the building.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
That was I felt almost like
Rommel
the
does
wind
that.
got knocked out of me real quick. I was like, wow.
I have that effect on Carmen Sandiego.
Hey, found him.
Got him.
Found him.
Hilarious. I'm with it though. I'm owning that.
I'm your pusher. Let's go.
You've been the last time we actually met. Last time we hung out.
Yes.
was actually the last podcast I
I
had.
know.
And not just picking up there, but a lot of transition has happened with you since that. A lot of
transitions happened with this podcast since then
a
too.
little bit. A little bit. You know what I mean?
We're in a whole new place.
Point taken.
Yeah. We're growing.
We're growing.
We're
Yeah.
growing. We're adjusting.
Yeah.
We're adjusting to
We
the
are
change.
adjusted.
Yeah. And
Well, I will drink to that.
Adjusted. Hey, drink to adjusted, guys.
with your what would you say was the biggest adjustments you made since we seen you last?
Oof.
This is the one you asked for, girl.
Oof. I know. Biggest adjustments. You know, like I've had a lot of different iterations of even my understanding of myself. So that's why it was amazing, like hearing just how you interpreted your introduction. Because I am like finding a new homeostasis, you know, with the projects that I'm working on.
Yeah.
With how much I give into certain things that are outside of myself.
Yeah.
Especially like in regards to these socially engaging things, right? Because like that kind of lifestyle, or not lifestyle, but that kind of work will drain you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so I'm learning now, and I think that's one of the biggest adjustments is like me learning to say no so I can say yes to
You
my
said a
own
lot. You said
things.
yes to a lot of people, though, and that's why I think people kind of overstay their welcome when it came to your energy and your feedback.
Yeah.
And you know, like you're an entrepreneur. You're doing this by yourself. There's no team.
I mean,
Activists
now there's a
as
team.
well.
I think that's another big change.
Okay.
I think that's another huge change is like not doing it by myself and developing and leaning into teams.
Is that like you? Are you still working with Ramon?
Still working with Ramon.
Yeah.
Yes. One of my longest standing like business partnerships, and also like
Shout out to Ramon. I don't know Ramon.
Ramon Garcia, I see you, buddy.
oh yeah, give him those props. He deserves them. We call him Padrino. Like he's kind of like
The OG?
He's the OG, kind of like a godfather character. Like a lot of people lean in and he listens very well and like is willing to provide some wisdom and some space and will do the hard work to keep people together.
Yeah.
You know, so he learned it from his dad. You know, just like just like a lot of our families, or we like learn from our generation before us, and then we try to do an iteration that's like better.
Yeah. I mean, so was his father and even with you, like, do you have kind of like roots of activism?
Like my family has some roots of activism. Yeah. Yes, like my uncles in the Philippines, when they were in the Philippines, they were very much, and also my grandfather in the Philippines were very much, with Ninoy Aquino and like, the fight for democracy in the Philippines, which also, got my grandfather like blacklisted from getting any jobs for a long time.
Wow.
In the Philippines.
In the Philippines, because like
brownlisted.
That's
crazy.
Because it's like he was of the region. My grandfather, Apolinario de Leon, right?
Shout out OG.
OG.
That's the OG ass name, y'all.
Yeah.
That's
I love OG.
Yeah, it sounds like a possible. Go ahead. Sorry.
What was his nickname? I'm just curious.
Paul.
Okay.
Or it's just
That wasn't a
Al.
stretch.
Yeah.
Paul.
Paul, so
Boy.
he was like an administrator for like soy and corn and rice, like in the region, right? So it was like Tarlac, Concepcion Tarlac in the Philippines, Pampanga, right?
Shout out.
Yeah. But like when the Marcos regime came in, like he was so entrenched with Nino Aquino and his family and all those other things, and like the support for the community that also supported democracy in the Philippines, that they kicked him out of his position and he couldn't get another like good paying job.
Wow.
Right? He had 12 kids with my grandma.
Because who he was affiliated with.
Yeah.
Because of who he aligned himself with, right? And that would, like during that time too, like I caught documentaries. Like my grandfather would never really talk about the war except that he was in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And my grandmother was, like baton death march and shit, like had to walk from village to village with like a young family without my grandfather.
Damn.
So like just seeing that part of it and knowing what was happening, like for like the female activists that were like teachers, they would get raped, they would get gang
Yeah, it was
by the military. It was nuts.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. Nah, it was like it was dirty. It's like a dirty. Yeah, World War II was dirty.
Yeah. Dirty Philippines dirty secrets, right?
Right.
No,
And
even
then-
like Cesar Chavez. You heard about that? Like when the Filipinos are working with Cesar Chavez.
Right. So like Larry Leon.
Yeah.
Right.
But then I
and
heard that Cesar Chavez would like take advantage of like Filipino women.
Really?
That's what I heard. Word on the street. I don't know if that's a.
I don't know. I don't know.
Dang, Rommel.
Like,
what a way to kill the shit.
References or
Dang.
that's a lot to.
Let's talk about your jacket
like,
making all this noise.
He said bang bang, dog. I was just like, oh, let's
just name names.
I'm calling out names.
I mean, if that's what it is, it was what it is. But like, definitely not. That's not.
We don't
a lot of sources of that.
I don't know.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of sources for that.
Respectfully.
But yeah.
So.
Where do we go?
Damn, dude.
Sorry.
Shit, and I'm only laughing because that was awkward.
That was the first time. I'm so sorry. So
it was a dark turn early.
It was a dark turn. Yeah, sorry. Usually we wait till like 36 and then we go completely south.
Well, you know,
can I ask how you know Rommel from 20 years back?
Wow, we were trying to figure this out.
Oh, we figured it out.
Yeah, we did.
We figured it out.
Yeah, we did. It was sorry. It was like like candy raver days but in house parties because we were still like
massages and shit. Yeah.
hella fucking.
I think you used to wear a lot of overalls. Right? Did you wear a lot of overalls?
I did wear a lot of overalls. I love overalls.
Give me a ding. Give me a ding. It's a good memory.
I do love overalls.
There it is.
I do love overalls.
Yeah, they're comfy.
They got pockets, hella pockets. I love that shit.
But the crazy thing is, right? The crazy thing is that we've kind of been in each other's.
You used to wear a lot of beads.
I did wear a lot of beads.
like beads, like the bracelets.
Smell like Vicks.
It smelled like Vicks, and you used to do the Undertaker eye roll all the time.
I used to get like chills and shit.
Yeah. What was your song? Was there a song that you had that
I was super into like drum and bass, but I still am into drum and bass just because it's like
drum and bass is it. Yeah.
Justin has something. Justin, what do you have? Go ahead, Justin.
Did you have a pacifier with a bead necklace?
Pacifier?
I'm pretty sure you did.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I did not because
Justin.
I did not because my mom already thought I was weird. So let's not take it up a step further.
I never explored that type of party.
Oh. You missed out. Just kidding. No, you didn't. It's all good.
I never went to, what was it, home base?
Home base. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I never had a chance to go to home base, but I did go to like a rave in like San Jose.
How was that?
It was weird. I saw Roselle on Ecstasy and I was like, this is the most hip hop shit ever.
And this is when he left the Roots.
Yeah, that's like when he like released his own like
LP.
Yeah. And then
can't hear more than 30 minutes.
It's like it's crazy because like raves back then would go from like till 7 a.m. Like the sun's coming up, everyone's kind of looking like zombies. And
shit. I went to a rave at St. Mary's Cathedral. You know that spot?
In the church?
At the bottom of the church.
The
one downstairs.
Yeah.
You know, like St. Mary's Cathedral in San Francisco is the one that looks like a hat. Yeah.
Is that the one by the KFC Mission? Not that St. Mary's?
No, the one that's at the top. That's St. Mary's, right?
Ellis.
Goff. Okay.
Yeah.
Downtown.
What year was this?
I don't even remember. 90. No, 99. I was like, it was before I got sent away. So 99.
Did you stay for
You got sent away?
I did. We didn't have that conversation last time.
Nah, let's talk.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Hold on. We're going too fast, man.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So okay, raves. Go.
So it's just that, we just kind of came across each other, and I think even at that time,
you guys came across each other.
I think it's
sorry, I'm 12.
Do you want it back?
It's like I swear to God, I feel like I'm gonna see you 20 years later
with an orange hat.
You're giving me pimp vibes right now.
With my fuzzy jacket.
It's wild, right? Just because it wouldn't, I do know you from then, but we've kind of been in the same ecosystem, and I remember like
I think we also like share a goddaughter too. I'm pretty sure. No?
With Mish?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Shout out to you.
Oh, from St. Mary's Cathedral to St. Augustine.
I'm pretty
That's right.
I'm pretty sure.
Fuck, I hope she don't watch the podcast. I completely forgot. No, but like
it's all good.
But tarot, like I remember like tarot card readings outside like Sambar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I was told that I can't bring my tarot cards.
No,
anymore.
sorry.
who's that? Oh,
sorry, not right now.
They just had it.
My bad.
So we want to respect the energy that they have already cultivated in the space. So we're gonna just
Did you tell me it was tarot Taro like ube? Sorry,
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Taro.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Like
Ube is not taro.
So anyways, you got
They're not the
sent away,
same.
huh?
They're not the same.
So talk about this whole sent away thing.
Oh yeah. Because so a lot of people from the time that I was in high school, they remember me, from like house parties, raves, all, the party scene and stuff. And then all of a sudden I disappeared.
And what high school?
You really are carpet sending.
Third
Where in the
grade?
world? No, I went to Oceana for like a year and a half. And then I got sent away. So I got actually sent away to a Scientology boarding school in
What the fuck?
Do you have like a screeching record, like a stopped record?
No, but give her a D. No, give her a D. Just like
Scientology boarding school. Where?
In New Mexico.
Are you
At what age?
Wow.
From 16 to 17. It was like roughly 2 years though, because it was like 2 weeks after my 16th birthday, and then I came back like after I turned 17. Like I was like closer to it.
Was this like a late birthday present?
I know, right? They're like, get the fuck out here.
Yeah.
No.
You was wildin', huh?
I was wildin', but then also like the thing that like just kind of like broke the camel's back is like I started getting like heavily politicized during that time period, and so I was protesting against another proposition, and this is actually what probably started my work. Like as a young person in education, education, to lay the foundation for the work I do now, which is Prop 21. Back then was the Gang Violence Prevention Juvenile Justice Initiative. That's where the gang injunctions came out of. That's where like the definitions of 3 or more people with a common affiliation with each other.
That's
and like,
right, at the mall.
And then also
3 in a group.
Yeah, right. You remember that? And then also the divestment away from like after school programming, electives, like science, like experiments, like everything, like all of that stuff started getting taken out of our school, right? Because like when I was a freshman,
like they were cutting funds.
They were hella cutting funds.
Got it.
And then they were investing in rebuilding,
And Terra Nova was a rich school.
I didn't go to Terra Nova.
No, but Terra Nova was a rich school. So
Well, yeah.
You're in Oceana.
I was at Oceana.
Because the demo was different.
Very different.
Yeah, so
Very different.
They pushed the funds elsewhere.
They pushed it also not into the schools, but they put it into incarceration and punishment. So that was like the key values of that movement during that time period is like schools not jails, books not bars, like those kind of things came out of it. And so like us being able to see that like it came at my last leg of protest, because it did get passed. We had participated in something called a Week of Rage, where there was like collective actions, many different actions throughout the entire state for an entire week after it got passed.
Was that like was that pretty organized?
It was very organized.
Okay.
Like I've never seen things that organized again. Almost.
True. It's fast.
Almost.
Yeah.
But like that. Like heavily politicized me. Like it made me learn how to track the money. Where does it come in?
I always started
Who
thinking
benefits?
about that at 16.
Like
that was not on my radar.
It was it was so interesting. So like the very
99 was this 99?
99.
That's why.
But I mean, like.
So this is what happened.
Yeah,
I sat down for the STARS test, which is the standardized test that they make people take in
high school.
In high school,
right.
in order to be able to get funds for your seat.
Oh.
And so like I had been educated by some organizations that, this test is not even designed here within our school district. So our curriculums actually don't support what they're testing us. So like
it has like no effect, basically.
It's biased.
Yeah.
It's like being made in like Cambridge, Massachusetts, but like what does it have to do with our curriculum?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like what we're learning. So like you have us like filling in bubbles for things that aren't even based on our curriculum to go say what our aptitude is, and then they determine how much schools should get funded based on that. And then, so I was like, I don't want to do this shit. So I wrote an essay on my Scantron about like better ways to gauge the aptitude of students.
At 16.
Yeah.
You wrote an essay on your Scantron.
And then I turned it in, and they were just like, they're like, we can't actually have you at this school anymore because, like,
way to go, Shannon.
that was like a serious red flag. And then what did your parents say?
Here's a plane ticket, you're out of here.
So,
but
really?
like, I mean, but then again, like, again, also this, like I said, there's a straw that broke Camel's back. Because remember, me and Rommel were just like, we were raving this shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I was after I did ecstasy, I went home to take a nap. I was over here listening to Dead Prez, trying to figure out a revolution.
Definitely, I was definitely listening to Dead Prez. That was like the very first protest that I went to for Prop 21 was in front of Oakland City Hall. And Dead Prez performed.
But how did you like? My question is, that's so interesting to me because at the age of 16, you like saw that inequality, right? Mm-hmm. But what was it that like drew you to that? Was it like
Dead
the music? Was it like what was it like? Was it people that you were hanging out with, or?
I think again because like we were so exposed to a lot of dark things early.
This is
what do you mean by that?
Goddamn facts.
Like again, like drugs, violence, gangs.
Jan knows what's up.
90s was different.
80s
was different. 80s and 90s were different.
Yeah. 80s was different, but then 90s
like
were just
the crack
like this
era, and then coming down like the 90s were kind of like settled down.
And like
still popping.
in our communities during that time period in the 90s, Filipino community also like very plagued by Batak. Very plagued by like
that's true.
And like the type of behavior that also goes with people that are selling it and like all that other stuff. Like ecstasy was like the fun drug,
It was running rampant.
It was running rampant.
I think that's why
like, triple stack shit. There was no jokes. There was no joke.
I was kind of scared. That's why I think I never like went that route.
You're smart.
Because I seen people and I was like, you don't look like you're having a good time, bro.
No, actually, I remember. I actually really remember that like when I hit the peak of it, I would always have to run to the bathroom and like throw up.
Oh,
like it
really?
it was not actually a super pleasurable experience. I think
I've always,
but eventually, like once I got past that part, I was like writing it out and shit. It was weird. It was weird.
It is weird because it's like when you do it, like. It's all about
ecstasy, right? We're talking about
it's about ecstasy. It's all about kind of like the vibe, right? When we were younger, like music, like there like other girls, and it was just kind of like fun, And then now, like a lot of the dudes, they say like, "Oh, let's go pop a Molly." I'm like, "Oh, who's gonna be there?" It's like, "Oh, it's me and the boys." I'm like, "That's weird." You know what I mean? It's like I guess it's different.
You're like, why do I want to go do
it's like what are y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna give each other massages? Like but again, it's just kind of like
there was dolphins.
Yeah,
there was the dolphins, Nikes, Yeah, all of those things. So, I mean, but just to kind of like wrap up that question, right, which is that because like we were exposed to so much so young, and like I said, there were some dark things, a lot of violence. There was a lot of violence that also made it like desirable to escape that violence by taking drugs.
True.
Yeah.
Don't disagree.
A lot of unaddressed like childhood trauma as well.
Yeah.
Right, and then also like by design, like how much our parents had to work, how much we had no supervision, how much there was like again like a
no
lack of
cameras, no phones.
Exactly.
You're lucky if you had a pager,
right?
Or somebody in your group had a pager,
right?
Now they got ring cameras everywhere.
I mean, I'm not saying this like I didn't have I didn't have favorable memories during this time period, but like those dark moments and all those other things made me understand that there was something off. And then when
that's when really that's interesting.
And then, like going to a Dead Prez show, because also hip hop, like being so closely related also to hip. So it's like those experiences, and then listening to, like Dead Prez and KRS-One and, like and Nas and all these other things.
Immortal Technique.
Eventually like Immortal Technique and like other folks and like Grouch and Slug and, like all these things. Like you start, really listening. To
the words,
like to the words and to the messaging, and then being able to connect the dots and be like, well, my experience is, like a mirror some of this stuff, or I relate to it, So when I found these youth organizations that actually utilized hip hop as a means of activism, so like there was an organization called Third Eye Movement. And
where is this based out of?
San Francisco.
Shout out to Third Eye Movement.
Shout out to Third Eye Movement. They were amazing. There was a 415 chapter and there was a 510 chapter. Tony Coleman led up the R.I.P. Tony Coleman. He led up the 510 chapter, and like with Van Jones too. Like Van Jones was there too. It was weird. Like Van Jones would say weird ass shit. He used to be saying some weird ass shit.
Van Jones?
Yeah.
Wait, who's Van Jones?
He's like a now he's a political talking head, but like then he was like this lawyer that
in Oakland, right?
Yeah. And so, but like he would say shit like, I was coming out of Yale and Tony Coleman was coming out of jail. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
you know what I'm saying? Like,
is that a flex? Like what
I
the
don't
fuck
know,
do
yeah.
this for? Yeah.
But like Tony and Jasmine, Jasmine was in the 4 and 5 chapter, so that was amazing. The 4 and 5 chapter, and it was amazing because that was like one of the first times I saw like really strong female leadership.
Yeah.
To like organize things that were like shows, protests, and things that like utilize these platforms to help educate people and help to empower people and engage people and get people moving, feeling, thinking. And I saw the collective power and also the camaraderie that came from that.
Yeah.
Which was like something that we were chasing, like trying to like doing ecstasy and all these other things to like try to feel this closeness, this camaraderie, this like elevation.
It's a good connection.
Like this this elevated consciousness, and like through like education, through art, through all of these other things, Third Eye Movement also provided a space for that.
Yeah. Sorry, Jen, go ahead. He's been holding the mic for like 5 minutes.
All right, this is kind of like left field, kind of sensitive question. Do you think something happened like during that time where the powers that be kind of recognized that was happening, like kind of waking people up, and do you think they put like some sort of stop to it, which kind of made
like the uprising?
Yeah, which kind of made music what it is today.
I think this is something that's like a millennia of like the battle for a millennia, like we were talking about earlier. It's like this balance, right? Or lack thereof balance, or whatever, right? Or whatever it is. Like there's light and there's dark, right? And they both exist, and they're constantly like dancing. You know what I mean? And so like whenever there's too much light, dark's attracted to it, right? Like and then when there's too much dark, like light needs to come in too,
ebbs and flows, and
it ebbs and flows. And so definitely, like not just okay. So there is this really interesting interview with Erykah Badu.
Okay.
And she talks about the frequency in music.
Oh, in terms of like actual like sound,
like the tone, tone, the vibration, the frequency. And then like so she talks about it, and so like one of her albums, I think Baduism is like tuned to the sound of the womb or something. It's like at the vibration of the womb, or like a few of her songs on there are. So she talks about that and trying to like change that vibration to like kind of re-frequent, like to help to correct people's frequency. But also like you do more research on it, and there's like all these like theories about World War II, and like as a means of shifting people's consciousness and like utilizing like psychological attacks, right? That they, I think it was like they went from 432.
Oh, like the frequency of things.
And then put it to 444. I mean, 440.
What are those numbers significant?
It's like the vibration. It's like the vibration of frequency. So it's like how fast like the sound waves go.
Yeah.
And so like one, like it's such a subtle shift. Like one is like the tune of our like natural growth and progression, and then the other one, if it's just like slightly out of tune, right, or like a slightly different frequency, then no one feels the difference, like no one noticeably sees the difference or like hears the difference. But like they said that by shifting it a little bit, it puts people into a constant state of anxiety. Where they don't feel. Yeah,
it kind of invokes like an emotion, but it's due physically because of the frequency.
Right.
That's fucked.
So that's, you know what I mean. So I think over like many millennia, there's been people that understand that vibration like moves masses.
Yeah.
Right? And there's been like another side that's like, no, because it's fucking up our control, and then they'll like do something to like try to suppress it. Right? So like, yeah, definitely. I think, you know, that the 90s and that hip hop activism that was coming out where there was like an elevated consciousness, and then all of a sudden you hear shit that's like hella dumbed down. It's kind of like
Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, like not like every other Nas album, right? He talks about it too. Like that's why for him to be able to do King's Disease is like a big thing. The way that he did it, production. That's why, right? You know, like in the way that he did it, or the one that he did with like Hit Boy, like it was big because like before in his contracts he had to do like one that was for him, and then the other one that was like
the jiggy hits.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I saw this interview.
That was off frequency.
Yeah.
You know? It was like, you're like, Uchi Wally. I mean, it's cool, catchy and shit, but what the fuck?
I saw this interview recently. It was Ice Cube. I think he was like either on some podcast or it might have been like on some radio show. And he was saying how the industry, the radio industry, specifically rap and hip hop, is fucked because those who own the labels are also owners of the prisons. So it's
the private prisons.
Yeah, the private prisons.
Private prisons.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like if they are pushing this to drive the youth,
creating their clientele.
Yes, and it's fucked, dude. And that kind of just it all reflects a capitalism.
Which which is a very interesting tie-in. So we'll go back to one of the original thing that brought this up was that I got sent away to a Scientology boarding school.
Yeah, so many questions.
With you know, like so. All of that being true, then, you know, like, yes, prison industrial complex, who owns it, who profits from it, all these other things. What happens when people get there? Is it helpful? Is it harmful? Do people come out and actually be reformed, or are they worse than that they came out, like when they came out? Mm-hmm. People's recidivism, super high. Recidivism, meaning their likelihood to continue to like go into the system, super high going into prison or jail, right? Yeah. This school had a very low recidivism.
The one that you got sent to.
The one that I got sent to.
Yeah.
Because what they focused on though was how to learn.
Yeah.
Not what to learn, and then like project based learning, which was like super helpful, and then actually like teaching you how to process yourself.
That's L. Ron Hubbard, right?
It was L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah. So there's like, but then everything with everything like. Organizations are weird. Yeah. Humans, they're made up of people.
I only know that name because I stayed up late when I was a kid. L. Ron Hubbard, like the book, right? Like it would be pushed on Channel 4 before.
The Dynetics.
Yeah. So I don't know
like
shit.
The auditing
and then
with the
you see it come out, it's like
earth
shaking. It's like
I mean the thing is like just like I mean like the Catholic Church. There's like fucking weird ass shit that happens to those humans that are like they have like consolidated power. They do weird ass shit. It's all bad.
Religions are great until people get involved and money gets involved.
Religions are great until people. Humans are just like
somebody like, hey guys,
money fucks it up too.
They're like, hey guys, here's God. They're like, yeah, let's take it to another level. It's like, y'all need to relax, dude.
There's these people here.
My question is, at the time that you got sent to the Scientologist school, there were either one of your parents.
My father.
Oh, okay.
He was a Jewish Scientologist.
Oh damn. L'chaim.
L'chaim. Yeah. Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah. So he believed in aliens and
God.
Judaism.
Yeah. Judaism. Yeah.
You believe in aliens?
I do.
I do too.
I think it's really arrogant for us to think that we're like
the only ones.
But did you believe in it more after going to the school of Scientology, or you always had that belief?
Oh, I always had that belief. I used to always. I remember when I was a little kid, I used to always like watch this guy.
Your third eye was open. Your third eye was open early though.
Yes, always.
So perspective, right? You're saying that you got sent to a Scientologist school where they taught you how to kind of process your feelings, and there's like project based things, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that maybe since you had that activism blood in you, right? Both of your parents decided, they saw that, and then they sent you to that school to refine it.
I don't think I think they were literally like, get the fuck out of here.
Simmer down.
Exactly. That was mostly because to them, they didn't see all the other work that I was doing. You know, like they didn't understand the activism that I was doing. To them, that I was just not doing what I was supposed to be doing, and I was still doing the things that was, you know, like partying and all the other stuff. Like to them, they were
Will
just
Smith, like parents don't understand.
Yeah. They didn't. Yeah, they were just. My mom, I remember her just being like, "I can't have you in this house," and it was such a heartbreaking moment to just be like, she was just like
2 weeks after your 16th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and like 16th of like as a teenager, that's when you're no longer like a little kid. 15,
Right.
You're kind of a little kid, but 16, you can actually drive and be out, right?
Right.
That's when like most friends start running away from home.
Exactly, and I already a runaway at 13. Oh no, 12. I was a runaway at 12.
What'd you bring with you the first time you ran?
Yeah, did you ever
away?
stick in like a blanket tape?
You know what's really funny? Actually, this memory comes up often for me, which is like I remember when I was 4 years old.
Oh.
That
Sorry.
was like, no.
Okay, I was like, oh, you ran away.
Clutch your pearls.
My Lanta.
Yeah. Oh, my Lord.
But I remember putting on this red polka dot dress, packing up one of those bags, you know, those the ones that the comforters come in.
Okay, yeah, the clear ones.
Yeah,
the clear,
yeah, the tiger, the one with the tiger.
Yeah.
We all got that.
Exactly, and so like I remember packing that up with whatever belongings that I had.
Yeah. What toy had to be in there?
Oh, if I can remember.
You know, I'm fucking
no, it sounds great though. I don't know. Like,
rolling away in your Power Wheels at like 0.2 miles per hour.
Dragging it to the door, and I was like, I'm leaving to go live with Grandma. And my mom was like,
let's go. I'm gonna send you away.
She was like, yeah.
You're not allowed to cross the street though.
Oh my God, there's this like moment. My cousins always laugh about it, where you know, because like we have like Rottweilers. My family has Rottweilers, and my mom one day goes, because like we had been bringing them to school and to get trained so that like they weren't just like running amok because they got a lot of energy. And my mom was like, I wish that I could have sent you guys to obedience school. I was like, you did.
Yeah, you did.
I was out there.
Did you not get the pamphlet?
My cousins are like, yeah, and they remind me of that shit all the time. They're like, remember when your mom said that you wanted to send you to obedience school, like the dogs, but you know they did.
And your mom's a Filipino one,
For
right?
a whole year. Oh yeah.
Your mom's a Filipino one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Wow.
And you guys had a family business, correct?
Yeah, well, it became a family business.
And that entrepreneur spirit transferred over, and it's not what your parents how they envisioned the transfer over, right?
Oh yeah, no, they're just like, my mom was like, I didn't come here to America so you can sell drugs. And I'm just like,
But Dad used to give drugs.
I was like, well, Dad's a dentist and he like prescribes them.
I thought every dentist was like Steve Martin from Little Shop of Horrors.
That big thing. Yo, I can't. Dude, I don't know what it is
The
about.
laughing gas, like
I don't know what it is about dentists. A dentist and when you go to the ophthalmologist or an optometry visit, like I cannot, like I have to hold myself from laughing. Because they're like this up in you, right?
Oh,
and I'm
yeah,
just like,
it's crazy. They're
I'm
like all up in your face.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, are you doing this shit on purpose because you see I'm about to laugh? Because I'm about to crack the fuck up, and that would be weird, right?
I hate when they be talking to you with like open-end ass questions. They're like, so how's your day? You're like,
Was your dad your dentist? He's like, so what grade did you get?
Yeah.
A C?
My dad was my dentist. I would like, it was crazy. I remember, like, because he didn't
you
even
have
know
great
laughing.
teeth, by the way.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too. I was like,
great
what's he?
teeth,
He was like,
by the
yeah, he
way.
was.
Yeah, he was like, testament to my pops. R.I.P. Pops.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Papa.
Yeah, so he, I remember sitting in the chair while he was like cleaning my teeth or whatever, and I would look up into his glasses and I would watch him what he was
Oh,
doing.
yes. You seen the water sprinkle or like
All the things, all of it.
Are you trying to purposely gleek? Y'all kids don't know what the fuck gleek's about.
No. We have to invent games. Spitting water through your teeth, gleeking.
But it's like our parents were like, I used to put a string on a spider. And you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Used to make a spider a pet. Yeah,
Make
exactly.
them crickets.
That's crazy, dog.
What is that about?
Oh, like we were spitting there.
yeah.
Like I don't like,
Playing
like
with
I'm scared
nature.
of spiders. Oh, but let's spit on each other. It's like that's crazy.
We're a weird era. We're a weird generation because we had no internet. Then we seen the birth of it and like how it transformed to like what it is now.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
it's almost like now I can't see myself without it.
Right.
True.
Right.
I feel like my thumb like has gained like a new muscle. It's weird because of the way that I hold my
You think we're being
phone.
tracked? You think we're being tracked? You think we're
Oh,
being tracked?
definitely.
Hey,
I don't allow
I don't allow either.
I don't allow
I don't
cookies.
allow anything. I'm like, I don't.
Wait, those are actual cookies, right? Because I was allowed them.
Pink.
Like what? Like
I'm like, yo, let me get some
Anthony's
cookies. Yeah,
what are
they
cookies
don't
at,
send you
though?
cookies? Oh, fuck.
So you went from marijuana venture and you're
Which I'm still in
Yes.
cannabis. Yeah.
cannabis space, and then say people in the industry call it cannabis. Weed. You say weed.
Weed, yeah.
But now you have expanded your portfolio. I've been staring at this since we've been on the pod. Could you please explain what's happening with you in this space?
Nice days. Yeah.
Is
Yes.
it with a Z?
No.
Oh, nice day.
This ain't for the streets, dog.
It's not actually. It's not for the streets.
It's not.
No, this is not for the streets. This is, like, again, we're in a really interesting time period.
Yeah, we are.
Right? And, like, it's crazy because, like, when we were younger.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You and I, we used to do...
A lot of drugs.
Yeah, we used to do ecstasy. We used
And
to do-
mushrooms.
Right.
Holy shit!
The thing is now...
in a peanut butter sandwich.
I saw an article
Never
today
had
that like the U.S. is one step closer to MDMA treatment, right? If you think about it,
Yeah.
they used weed for glaucoma and to treat other symptoms, cancer patients to have them eat psilocybin, different psychedelics, right?
Yep.
Have so many like therapeutic uses,
Yes.
PTSD, addiction, depression, all of these things, and now it's kind of coming to light.
Yes. I mean, even with MDMA, it was also already designed for therapeutic use.
Yeah, they're
right?
like, they're one step closer. It's like I've been on that step. We've been doing that.
I mean, but we were literally self-medicating because
Yeah.
we were also going through a lot of traumas, and we were
True.
also addressing all of these things that we know now and have names for now, but we were just wilding when we were kids,
Yeah.
But like, Oregon has already put legislation on the books that allows for therapeutic use of psilocybin.
What is psilocybin?
Psilocybin. Okay, so psilocybin is the.
Let's talk.
All right, this is
Let's
fun.
go.
Yeah, this is fun. So psilocybin is the psychoactive element in mushrooms.
Right.
Just like THC is the psychoactive element in cannabis.
And is this only available in mushrooms, like psilocybin? Is there other ways to extract it besides that's known?
No, there's other things that are available in other plants that but are not psilocybin.
Yeah.
So actually, no, there's two things for mushrooms. It's psilocybin and psilocin. And psilocin.
Yeah, psilocybin, right? Is psilocybin? Psilocin?
Psilocin, I think.
Yeah, so psilocybin is... So for my...
Sorry, guys. Let me bring it back.
So
Bring it back.
So for my let's just do this right now. So for my understanding, right?
Oh my
Psilocybin.
God.
Psilocybin isn't what gets you high.
Right.
So what psilocybin is that you ingest psilocybin and then when
And
you're
it converts to psilocin.
it converts to psilocin when your stomach acids hit it.
Or you can put lemon on it.
Correct.
Ding 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 ding.
So if you
I like it.
Any
I like how
citrus?
you know.
yeah, so allegedly
Any citrus? Or it has to be lemon.
Mostly lemon.
Yeah, it breaks it down.
Yeah.
So allegedly, from personal
Allegedly.
use,
Yeah.
I steeped some mushroom tea and then I put a ton of fucking lemon in there. And what that does is instead of breaking it down in your body, it hits you hard and fast.
It's called bioavailability.
Yeah, and so I was watching like
Bioavailability.
and I was like, I thought I had a chance. I was like, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go downstairs, smoke a cigarette. That did not happen. Yeah, I went downstairs like, and then I went upstairs, watched Now You See Me Too, and I couldn't
Now
understand
You
the plot.
See It.
I couldn't understand
Look
the plot.
who's talking.
I was like, no. You know, Now You See Me, it's like, I was like, is this real magic? I was like, what's going on here? So yeah,
I'm dead.
Yeah, so dude, it's
Honey, I
like,
Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, man.
yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my God.
Here's another interesting fact, right? A lot of people who just take psilocybin have different reactions to it in terms of how much you have to take.
Right.
There are people who, for example, shout out to Wonderland Medicinal, Wonderland Travel Agency. Yeah, I know somebody who had.
Oh, you couldn't just let mine stand
So,
alone.
I'm sorry. Family is family.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. No, but I know
Just
somebody.
kidding.
I know somebody who had to take an entire half bar to feel just a little something.
Yes. Yeah.
Granted,
Right.
they felt like they were dying later on, but that's what you get.
Yeah, I mean, people have to learn their dosings. It's really important. Like the dosings are important. So
Yes.
that's why, with a lot of the products that we design, we have
A dosing chart.
a dosing chart. We have several different. We have like the Stamets stack. So Paul Stamets, who did Fantastic Fungi, is available on Netflix. You can learn more about stuff through that. But like I've been working with this these producers at Nice Days for a minute. These capsules,
the yellow ones on the table.
Yeah,
0.3, 0.4.
No, these ones are 0.25.
Oh, so that's micro dosing.
Yes, like these are designed, and then we have even lower ones. The Stamets stack are like even lower. So it's
can you cook with that with the micro dosing?
Like cook like
like if I was making a musubi and I just wanted to top it off.
I don't know if
it'll taste any better.
You can just put it on. Yeah,
if I
put it on
want to fuck
whatever.
with somebody.
But these ones are so light. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It's like what they call. Well, these ones depends again on your sensitivity.
Yeah.
Some people have said that it makes them feel a little zoomy.
What do you mean by zoomy?
Like you know how like when your kids like running back and forth.
Yeah, that's actually like a dog term where they're just like
Squirrel.
I've heard people have kind of like a mentally they're able to kind of think more outside of the box.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. During the pandemic, there was a lot of things that I was like ruminating on that I couldn't ruminating.
Okay.
I couldn't like break the cycles on. It was really hard, and like there was just during the pandemic you had more time to think about shit too, and so like
everyone's sitting still.
Yeah, and I was like getting the zoomies now. No, so like enough of that. Just a little bit of that though, right? So 0.25, like it gave me just enough perspective shift.
Yeah.
To choose a different
route. Yeah.
In this microdose, how was that prepared?
It is just ground up. So these are also these microdoses. All the microdoses that are from Nice Days are all strain specific.
Oh, does it state the strain on the box?
Not on this one, but but the packaging,
Sample.
like it goes. Yeah, this is a sample.
Yeah.
But in the packaging, it does. It states what the strain is, and so
What are the legal? Like, what's the legalities for mushroom intake?
Yes. Currently in Oakland and in San Francisco.
Santa Cruz.
In Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
There's an organization called Decrim Nature that had worked really, really hard on putting some legislation on the books.
Yeah.
So they are what they call lowest priority of enforcement. People say that it's decrimmed, but it's not actually decrimmed. It's lowest
Federal,
priority of enforcement, which is like the same place that cannabis was
Right
for
before.
them. Well, right before they put state legislation on the books.
Right.
So like Oakland had like Measure Z shops and other things because it's like the lowest, like priority of enforcement. So San Francisco, Oakland, and
Santa Cruz County. Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
I think next year pretty much it's gonna be. It's gonna be legal.
There's an organization called Oakland Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a
Spell that. Spell Hi-Fi.
Hi-Fi. No.
Hi-Fi.
Hi-Fi. So H-Y.
I like top of Faye.
Half a day. Half a day. To all the Chamorrans out there. So HYPHAE.
Okay, and what is that exactly?
So they have a psilocybin cup, and they also do it's a primarily POC based, but also
like a grading system, kind of like the cannabis cup.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so they have like a lab.
I was like, look at this cup, and I was like, great cup.
Yeah, red cups. They do testing.
Mm-hmm.
They hold different educational sessions, workshops, like all these things where they're very involved in helping to elevate the science around mushrooms. And so they actually just submitted some legislation, what is it called? This is like citizen generated like legislation and proposed it. They just dropped it off last week, so we'll see if it gets picked up.
And this is it medical for consumption, or is it recreational?
Well, I mean, everything even recreational is like a level of like medicinal purpose,
I don't know shit, so that's why.
It's true.
and the same thing with cannabis. To split it is kind of weird, and then that's where people develop like fucked up habits and or like bad practices because we like split it away from each other, be like, is it therapeutic or is it recreational? And it's just like, I mean, recreational therapeutic, I don't know, you know.
Hey, I do like to recreate.
Or
procreate.
So something that I learned though too is very interesting about mushrooms though, is that it doesn't actually stimulate your body to like produce like more serotonin or more dopamine or like things like that. It's not
like other drugs.
Like other drugs, like or like drinking, right? Yeah. Like it doesn't like spike your hormonal production.
Oh, interesting.
So it like the psilocin binds to the serotonin receptors.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually.
It's like, let's go for a ride, bro.
yeah. You're like, oh, this likes me, you know, like, and like, it's like swings on the receptors. It's like, wee.
I do want to touch on something that you said, right? In terms of like the
Justin felt that one. he was on that ride.
He was like,
he was swinging.
Y'all see the waves. I was stuck sweeping my garage for what felt like an hour, but it was like 15 minutes, dog.
Yeah.
And then anyway, so
me too.
So like it's very important, right? What you said, how there are people, independent companies that are doing lab tests on different candy bars or different products that are out there, because there have been already independent lab studies that show that some, I'm not going to say any names, some of those popular mushroom bars contain zero psilocybin.
Oh.
What instead they contain are low dose DMT, which is that's not it, fam.
No, and it's not cool to like give people shit that they're not signing up for.
Yeah, because right, and that's what fucks it up, right? That's what makes it a capitalist. It's like, now you're just trying to stretch that dollar. Now you're trying to cut corners, right?
Right.
That's fucked up, y'all. It's fucked up. Yeah.
And that's exactly, and that's why, like you said, like the companies that are willing to go the distance to like have to have some kind of integrity. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's important. Same thing with cannabis. Like the thing is, it's like you can definitely like pay for like street valued cannabis right now. Yeah. Which is like, I mean, it's cool because you're like no tax, but at the same time, like you don't know what you're buying. You don't know. Like they've been spraying that shit to make it more purple and like all this other stuff. Ooh.
You was really outside. Nade.
Gross.
So
Nadine.
What was it at the 3rd Street liquor store off the Nade too? But I didn't stop him up pimping though.
So it's funny.
I love that he knows that verse.
I have a question. So I had a friend who came into town, and they're like, "Yo, can you get me some weed?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll take you to a shop." He said, "No, I don't want that weed." I was like, "Okay." So I went and found him weed that's not available at a shop. Like, is it? I think what he said, or what, if I remember correctly, is that the shop stuff is too powerful.
Oh.
Is that a thing? Like, do you hear that? People are like,
okay, so like, oh, this is such a good conversation. I like this conversation. Because people are like,
before in the 90s, they're like, don't give me that Bammer weed. And then now they're like,
train wrecking catfish.
Maybe a little bit, Give me a little bit.
Like, mid. No. No, I mean, okay, so this is what, it was such an interesting phenomena that happened because, like, I used to have a delivery service. Yeah. Right? My brother's delivery service, right? Mirage Medicinal.
Shout out to Mirage.
Prior to, 64, like.
Yeah.
And, like, that was like...
Propsies
like the gold, that was like the golden days.
The golden era.
Yeah, it was nice though because it's like
93 till
you
infinity
could like talk to folks and like the conversation was like, okay, well, what is it that you're ailing with?
This is pre-apps, so everything was a phone call, right?
I had I had my little.
I know. I was like, she demonstrated 2 phones. So I'll bring a switchboard in this movie.
So like, but I was like, oh, so what are you ailing with? This is what I have. Are you looking for something that's body? Are you looking for something that's the head?
Did you ever say indica, couch?
Yeah.
What are you ailing with? Indica, couch.
I'm like, just remember, indica, couch. Which is actually also not accurate, right? Because
All y'all can use that on me. I still felt like I was gonna pee myself.
Because like everything's a hybrid now, and like THC is in everything, so like it's actually the terpene content that really changes the experience with cannabis, and like that's where the consumer needs to start moving towards, is like an understanding. It's like, what am I looking to have the experience in? Because like everything has THC in it.
Yeah.
Right, so like it's really, and then now everything's a hybrid, so it's like really the variation of like the different terpenes, and like terpenes are essential oils, right? So like,
did you just put your hands on him after you said that?
Mm-hmm. Essential oils.
I was like, I was looking because like sometimes I have essential oils in my pocket. So
I thought you were putting an exclamation mark on the
sorry.
Where's my lighter?
No. I thought she was like, I thought she was like, terpenes are essential oils.
I support this thing.
No, I was like looking because sometimes I do have like an essential oil in my pocket because that's what I was gonna say. It isn't there. But like they are like the smell that chemical that comes out of like oranges, pine, like all these, those are the things that you go and you see, and like that affects your nervous system, right? So like if you have lavender oil or like a lavender essential oil, and then it like helps
that's a
calming,
calming, right?
Right? And so
Johnson
cannabis,
& Johnson put me on game. Johnson & Johnson. y'all seen the purple bottle boy. Purple, that Yerple.
Fuck, that was good, cuz.
So
damn you.
Cannabis actually produces linalool, which is linalool is the terpene found in lavender, and cannabis produces it, right? And then like limonene or citrine, like that's found in lemons, cannabis produces that shit too. It's such a magical plant. It really is a magical plant. So like those are the things that actually affect the experience.
Yeah.
Because it like that's the one that changes your nervous system, like experience with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how we got on that subject anymore. But
No, dude.
What is, in your way, the purest way to taking cannabis?
Yo, I like that question.
Because
a vaporizer.
Now
yeah,
the old school one.
Like the volcanoes.
No, the one that looks like a pencil sharpener.
The wooden box.
Yeah, the wooden box.
The wooden. Oh yeah, and then it had like a little.
the glass
tube,
one.
Yeah, exactly. Where it looks like you're about to be like Roger and Zap.
Because it's just heating it, right?
Yeah, so it's just like it's taking, like you're not smoking any of the biomatter, so you don't have the same carcinogens, right? Which are like the things that turn your lungs black. Mm-hmm. You're just taking off the essential oils and like those things. So like those little balls that are like when they're like ooh sparkly on the cannabis, like it's just that.
Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The resin.
Yeah.
Like that.
So, I have a question.
Take that.
So I don't like weed because it makes me feel like I pee myself. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is
no judgment.
Yeah, no
Sorry.
judgment, please.
Sorry.
It's a sensitive subject. We've only been talking about it for the past 80 episodes. So I'll feel like I piss myself, and then I'll start tapping around my crotch to make sure I don't pee myself. And then if I'm in public, I will get paranoid because I feel like people will see me trying to touch my crotch, and then I spin out of control. How do I smoke weed or do that without feeling that way?
You know what? Okay. Not all things are for all people.
All right, so basically there's no hope. Thank you.
Okay, so we have something called an endocannabinoid system.
Endocannabinoid system.
Correct.
You are putting the science in Scientology right now.
Dropping science.
I was just waiting for that to come.
You asked for it.
I did though by telling that story, but they taught me how to learn, so that's testament to that. It's called, shout out to Applied Scholastics. Okay, so endocannabinoid system. Endocannabinoid system. Yeah. So like it's actually really interesting because like if you see the endocannabinoid system and where it like falls on the body when they do like these diagrams online and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you see like Chinese medicine meridian lines.
Ooh.
Very similar.
Like the herbal Chinese, like Eastern medicine.
Yeah, Eastern herbal medicine.
Yeah.
Like very similar, right? Because like those, like our bodies have receptors.
Yeah.
Like in them and stuff. So, our bodies produce two natural cannabinoids. I'm like, people pronounce that in multiple ways. Cannabinoids. Yeah. So, but we produce two. One is anandamide. Root word ananda.
Ooh.
Sanskrit meaning bliss.
Sanskrit.
Yeah.
That's why I like pananandasol.
With cheese? With cheese. But butter and sugar. If you toast Ananda.
Ananda salt.
Every Filipino.
Bliss.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's hella good though.
Only if it's hot.
Now, I'm thinking
Is
about it
Valera's
with a
over
little
right
bit
now?
of
I'm high.
butter and chocolate. Not chocolate, sorry, sugar.
Not chocolate chip.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, okay, so anandamide, known as the bliss hormone,
Got it.
right? Sometimes our bodies don't end up producing enough of it. Like we have like constant trauma, we have mental, emotional pain, whatever it is, our bodies are thrown out of homeostasis.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Out of homeostasis.
So off balance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
off balance. I mean, he just explained the whole thing.
Gus like, I understand, motherfucker.
I don't know how much he says is fact. So
It is. I do my
take it.
research, goddamn.
I take it for what it is.
It's all good.
And I fact check
That's
later.
okay. Shout out to
okay.
Teresa who doesn't say anything to me. I'm like, you can't do that. And she's like, no, yeah, I can. I was like, oh, I can't do that. It's like, oh, who said that on IG? And I was like, go ahead.
So yeah, like it throws our body off of like things that happen in life throws our body off of homeostasis. Sometimes we can't produce enough of like natural like cannabis, like cannabinoids,
Panadol. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to get that shit out of my head now. But just like any other animal, right? We seek out natural things in our environment that can help to supplement. Human beings have found that cannabis has something that the body may need at some point.
Oh, really? It like will help produce that.
It will, yeah. Yes, or just like, similar to like psilocybin, like it will supplement it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Like go to a trip on Vegas, something like that. Yeah. What's the second one?
And the other one's like, what is it called? Like ATC, I think it's called, or I'm blanking out, but it's found in breast milk.
So
Breast milk.
So hold on.
You made my
ATC,
day.
So two questions.
Yeah.
One is for the dads here. Have you ever tried breast milk?
I was told to try it.
I have tried it as
Ooh.
well. I tried it. It tastes like
My wife's.
Yeah, it tastes like
okay.
melon juice.
Really?
Well, I mean, it does.
But you hate melons.
I hate cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe.
Like,
Yeah. But I
is that why they called them melon?
Melon.
Man, Jan, have you? Ooh.
Yeah. Justin, have you?
No.
For some reason, I feel like
I've never tried it either, so
for some
you know
reason-
what?
Like the warmth, but
For some reason, out of all the guys, I feel like you probably drink the most breast milk.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Just
and you're single,
different-
dog. You don't even have kids,
Different
bro.
variations of breast
exactly.
milk.
They're so
Yes,
funny.
you have like the different variations, but we only allowed one. Anyway, so it's found in breast milk.
Yes.
Okay.
Breast
Okay.
milk, and then also like the natural hormone that is produced in our body. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, like like that's why I appreciate these natural like medicines really.
Yeah.
Because it's like before recreational use of drugs, like where we started off the conversation.
Yeah.
Right. It was like fucking partying, doing all this like crazy shit, whatever, not understanding it.
Yeah.
But
I was
then like
understanding.
now we get it.
Yeah.
Now we get it though. Because it's like. We're further along in life. We've made some transformation and stuff, and now we like understand that this has psilocybin in it, and it converts to psilocin, and then it binds to our receptors, and it allows us to have these experiences and like all these other things. and
Recovery
stuff.
as well, yeah.
Right.
My question for you is, what about ketamine? Ketamine also, that's kind of like lab form, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But it also provides a therapeutic, or it has a therapeutic use as well.
Right. I've heard. I have had friends that have actually had ketamine therapies.
Yeah.
It seems to really help them in guided spaces.
Yes.
Whereas like people that have just done ketamine, I've seen them with like no guidance.
I've
I don't know.
I've also seen that with no guy.
Right, and like it's the effect or the impact. Like you can tell the difference. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You can tell the difference.
Yeah, you can tell who did too much and who
had some help.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, had some guidance. Had did it with some intention.
Well, it's weird though, because if I feel like there's this gray line that you've always kind of walked,
teetered,
like your whole life, to where,
Life's gray.
Yeah.
Like my hair.
Hey, it's good.
That's tight. That's tight.
Or mine, lack thereof.
Salt and pepper. Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper here.
Do you
In the
like?
fat.
Do you ever? We ever worry that you might steer to right
Or left.
or left? Yeah.
I mean, I did go completely. I got sent away.
But see, you got sent away
Yeah.
only because.
I went too far on the other side, though. It was
But
bad.
that's only 1 year though, right? You got sent away for 1 year.
I got sent away for 2 years. I got sent away for 2 years, but it was 4 years of
Oh, like the
fuckery that
residual
build
effect.
No, 4 years of fuckery that led up to me getting sent away.
So
Yeah.
in retrospect,
okay.
you do think that you deserved it, or
Part of the journey.
I have now come to terms with that as part of the journey. Like I said, it was a hard thing because it was just my parents can't deal with me.
Yeah.
I'm their responsibility and they can't deal with me.
But
And like I
that's
said,
at a personal
I'm
level,
rejected,
right?
yeah. And feeling super rejected. But
But that shit wasn't free though, right?
no.
Yeah.
That was
Right?
that was
Do you
my
know how
college.
many-
That was my college tuition.
do you know how many mouths he had to look at to get that sent?
Oh, exactly. No,
Yeah.
yeah. He was mad. He was mad when I came back too. He was just like,
So
he was like, "Don't fuck this up," and I had a razor thin margin of error. Yeah.
So with weed, right? With the weed becoming legal, what was probably the most ridiculous thing that you've seen where you're like, all right, it's legal, but it's all right, this is a little bit too much.
I mean, there's so much fucking weed is regulated plutonium, worse than plutonium. This shit is to sell a fucking eighth of weed is days of paperwork. It's so dumb.
But you made you made it to where it's easier for
stupid.
people.
I'm just kidding.
It's easier for people now. You were part of
Not
the
easier
that.
for people. No, it's not easier for people. We are not in a good place. We need so much reform. It is not
Why?
in a good place.
Why?
But the stuff that you've done in Oakland, that's made a change, right?
the work that we've done in social equity has was so crucial, and it was essential.
Social equity of cannabis.
Of cannabis,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important work, and it's been spreading across the country, and people in many different states are taking up the mantle, making it their own, really adding and growing it to what it means for their communities. It's important work.
Yeah.
It made room for people to be in this space and to be able to find some footing. But people are hanging on by threads, right? If people don't shop it, people go to get street valued weed that's not tested. You don't know what is in there. You know what I mean? These small businesses will not survive. And so I'm this sweater, the equity is your weed
Certified.
Yeah.
so the equity trade certification. And if you see this logo on weed, then you are supporting a network of people that are supporting each other in small business ecosystems, also small farmers. POC.
Yeah.
Name 3 that come to mind in no order that you feel people should support.
Yes, Agricola Farms, Sanctuary Farms, and those are the ones that came off the top.
And no disrespect to no one she didn't mention.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is just
Definitely. He only gave me 3, you guys.
yeah.
And then I'm gonna also say Clarified Confections, just because 2 of those are flower companies, and then Clarified is a edible brand. So just to be able to give people if they're not smokers, then at least an edible. And Clarified's nice too because they have ghee butter, they have capsules, they have cookies. So they have different options on that one for folks too. But these this network that we have is crucial, and we're actually working on a documentary right now about the people that are in the network.
Yeah.
And so also shout out to folks like SF Roots and Conscious Minds and Oakland Extracts, who's in the network, but they, these brands are tiny, small batch. They and again, the regulation is so heavy,
and the tax is high,
and the taxes are high, and it's still federally illegal. Federally illegal. So like we have what they call the Al Capone law, which is 280E. It's a tax law.
What does that mean?
That means that you have to pay your taxes, but you can't write anything off. So
That sucks.
so like so it just like so it like. People are, like, if you're selling cannabis right now, in a POC selling cannabis right now, during this time period, you're there because you need to be there. You're not there because you're making any major dough. Like, even the bigger cannabis companies are not making a lot of dough. You know what I mean? They're barely, people are just barely keeping lights on right now.
I've heard this crazy, somebody told me this crazy story about how cannabis, cannabis companies are ran under law. Basically, let's say, for example, you grow a plant, right? That plant is tagged. So if that plant is tagged and now you're sitting on it and it's excess, right? And, let's say, for example, it was another brand, let's say it was clothing, right? You can have like a warehouse sale and have a fire sale or send it off to other places.
Right.
With cannabis, you can't. That's why it's tagged. You can't sell it out of state or else you'll get you'll get in trouble.
Correct.
So basically, they just incinerate it.
Yeah, it's really sad when we have to destroy cannabis. Like, it's painful.
crazy.
Because the thing is also is like, we come from a place in California where we had medical legislation, like medicinal legislation, and from a compassionate, like it was the Compassionate Care Act.
Yeah.
And we were able to give product to like veterans, to people that had chronic illnesses, like.
Has the tax write-off?
No, just the being able to do it though.
Okay.
Like as like people that had lupus, cancer, like all these other things, and it was such a big part of our culture, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like the thing of like connecting people and taking care of folks, because it's like I had patients, like little patients on my delivery service that like you would need to deliver to them because they're not gonna get up and get on a bus or drive themselves because they're in pain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like we're not allowed to do that, and like there are people like shout out to like Sweet Leaf Joe and like Recompass and all these other really amazing activists that like fought to have this carve out for compassionate care, which is like, I don't know why they made it like a temporary legislation. It's supposed to time out. Now the activists have to like fight for it again. It's like, it's a really annoying process of
It's a revolving door, right?
It's just like good things, they don't allow it to last, where like things that suck, they allow it to perpetuate kind of thing. And so like good people have to waste energy instead of doing good things. They have to go back and fight for their ability to do good things.
Why do you think that is?
It's part of oppressive systems, like we were talking about before. They're like, this is too late. We gotta go and fuck this shit up.
But even so, with that, and this is kind of off topic, but even with that being said, right, there was that one proposition that was passed in San Francisco that's causing a lot of like the bipping, right?
What do you mean? Oh, the one
in California.
In California.
Yeah.
So like if
under a G.
Yeah.
Oh, under a G.
And I saw this crazy thing.
Oh, because they like let people, and they were letting people out for like doing not yet.
Yeah, or you get like a slap on the wrist, right? Let's say, for example, somebody robs like 4 different stores and they take it like $900 from each store, right? And they say it's like in upwards of like 2,000 or whatever, right? Let's say. So basically, that's instead of getting like one citation for everyone, it's one citation per, right? So you're not getting charged for the 2,000, you're getting charged for 4 different acts of $900, and that's why it keeps happening, right? Like, I guess if you were to look at that, you can almost flip it and say that like that's kind of like making ourselves oppress ourselves, right?
Okay, I love this conversation so much, because this is actually like crime and punishment is like one of my favorite topics to study.
Yeah.
That's what I studied actually for the limited time that I was in college.
I did see that.
Yeah, so like criminal justice is what I studied. Also based on like everything that I talked about, because I went to an alternative incarceration space. I went to, I had this other experience.
Worked in different programs as well, right?
Worked in different programs, right? But like crime and punishment doesn't necessarily, like, okay, question. Were you guys like get in trouble with your parents? Like, what was the way that they like...
We got hit or took shit away.
Yeah, so they either like corporal punishment.
Yeah, it was like good cop, bad cop, right?
Or like remove something that you found valuable, and they're like, okay, we're punishing you.
Yeah,
it was punishment.
Yeah,
right. Okay, so when I got sent to that boarding school, this is so ironic too, because you're like, where is this at now with your organization? Anyways, it was about accountability. Right. So you're like, you cause harm, you cause damage. How are you going to repair the damage and the harm? Which is not what we have. We have crime and we have punishment. So it's like sit in the corner, face the wall, no, have no light, whatever it is, face a lot of violence, face all this other shit, which does it like help a person or does it hurt a person?
Yeah, I can see that.
Depends on the person, right? Depends on the person.
It depends on the
Yeah,
person.
some people get like tough love and they'll understand, and then there are other people who will kind of like,
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Whereas like in a space where we focus on accountability versus punishment, then now a person has to do they have to do to repair the damage and earn trust back.
So which is
like hella different.
Yeah, it is.
Right? So like what happens if people are caught bipping and all that shit, and then now they have to make the glass, replace the glass.
So you're talking like something that's directly related to the crime.
Possibly. I'm just saying as an example, right? Like what would that do that would make it different if they were now like, okay, well, this is the harm that you caused.
Yeah.
So now you have to repair the damage. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Like, so, like, for instance, I thought about that too. You remember those fucking kids that, like, drove the car off of,
off of the stairs?
Yeah, off the stairs.
Yeah, that's right.
That shit was fucking crazy. Like, crazy. Complete, like,
it is crazy.
Oh my God, like, so much could have happened, right?
Yeah.
But, like, what happens if, like, it wasn't that they had to sit in jail or, like, something like that, but they had to pour the concrete, repair the damage, replant the things, you just be there, be accountable for the space, make sure that people are safe. What happens if whatever that piece of accountability becomes something where the person has to repair the harms.
Yeah.
I think about that shit. I mean, I just think about that shit.
So would you say that just in theory, right? Would you say that would happen along with incarceration or separate?
I guess it would depend. I guess it would depend.
On the severity, right?
On the severity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That
so,
does
like,
make sense.
some people can't be, like, okay, so that was, like, another thing, too. It's, like, people say that you can't heal in an environment that made you sick. Sometimes. Like, that's, like, that's a theory, right? So, like, if someone within their environment, like, becomes completely, like, alien, you can't have them there. Like, because then they make everyone else sick.
Yeah. One bad apple spoils the bunch.
Right. So, like, you have to, like, remove them from the space, because then it, like, causes harm, and then they have to figure out how do they earn their space, like, back there. If that's the way they want to go, how do they earn the trust to go back into that space?
You love San Francisco
So much. I have a tattoo on my wrist.
What is...
It was painful.
So, San Francisco now, right? Like, what is your thoughts on and views of what San Francisco has become in the last couple of years?
Great question.
I have this conversation a lot with a lot of my friends and a lot of folks, and again, things go through cycles. Not everything's great all the time.
Yeah.
It is disappointing to see where it's at right now.
Yeah.
But then it sucks. So we're like, where are the adults? And then we look around and we're like, oh, fuck, we're the adults.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, what is our agency to make it cool? What is our agency to make it safe? What is our agency to do all those things? It's like we keep on pointing to other people. We're like, it's like that fucking
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man meme.
Spider-Verse.
You're just like, they're pointing everywhere else, but it's like, it's all the same person. So
do you feel it's how much percentage in your mind would it be that it's London Bree's fault?
I think it's really unfair to put everything on her.
Exactly.
You agree with that?
Because the way I see it, my perception of it, like, she was given a fucked up car.
God, I see what you're saying. And
she was kind of given a fucked up car, and you just kept getting fucked up because it was spiraling.
Okay. If you want to,
that's what I see.
That's not why I say that, though.
Please.
That's not why I say that.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I say that because we're looking. Okay,
Good question, by the way.
Sometimes I like to pull. I mean, it might be the shrooms. Pull to like a high level bird's eye view, right? We look at how power, control, politics, things are like looking, and you know, like in the bigger scope of history and everything.
Yeah.
You know, like she moved through a system of power that was already very skewed, very corrupt, and all these other things. Because like we already have other issues that you know are happening in San Francisco that people are like facing accountability for, like you know, like people to pay to play, or like the you know, like the Department of Building Inspection with people that were
that
like,
was crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, can you just touch on that real quick?
So DBI was like taking like kickbacks and stuff like that for people. There was this one commissioner that literally started a bank account that had like there's like 2 letters in the front and 2 letters in the back of like DBI, and like he would just write it so like people give checks to DBI, and then he would like write two letters on each side.
Some good one, buds.
Damn, dude.
But you can look it up. That shit's in the Chronicle or whatever. You can like look at that shit up. But I was just like, motherfuckers are crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, this sucks. But like, cause I've also sat on like the Cannabis Oversight Committee. I've sat and like I was the chair of the Cannabis Oversight Committee. I now sit on San Francisco's Justice for Equity and Transformation Council, which is a brand new council that's a part of the Office of Racial Equity. We're still trying to figure out what that means. We're still trying to figure out what that means.
Look at you.
I mean, but it's like it's volunteer work, essentially, you know. But you know, it's I love the city. I love the city.
Yeah.
So and I'm trying to participate in different kinds of ways just to really, truly try to understand how does this big thing work, right? It's huge. We're an international city. So, anyways, back to your question, which is like, how much do you put on her? Like, how much do you put on like any of the ones that came before her?
I mean, if you think about it, I put a lot of it on Ed Lee.
And like, but then Ed Lee died, and then she like took his place.
Yeah, I mean, but Ed Lee was the one who kind of like set up all of those tax breaks for those huge companies to move into the city, which pushed people out, right?
Right. Exactly. But then he also did some good things too. I mean, like again, nobody's all good. No one's all 100% good. No one's
Willie Brown.
No, and Willie Brown too. I mean, like what? Like his, you know, like one of his big testaments is what, lights on the building. You know what I mean?
He's just cool.
But
I think
it was cool. I mean, it was charismatic.
Shout out Mike though. Shout out Mike. I love you, Mike.
Yeah, no, it's like it's charismatic. You know, like there was a lot of charisma. There's representation. We're also like, you know, like facing a time where we don't, you know, like there's not a lot of examples. She's the first Black woman mayor of San Francisco ever.
But really,
like in human history.
Yeah, and at
you know what I mean?
Face
like,
value though, like mayors don't really have a lot of control.
There's so many things.
They're a face for the puppet show.
Ooh, okay.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like
say more.
They have to like okay. It's right. It's
true,
just
though,
a
it's
representative of a city, right? But
Yeah.
it's state ran and it's nation ran. So they are like at the lowest totem pole of that.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't
see what
want,
you're
again,
saying.
like we were talking about accountability. I don't want to be like, she has no accountability. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely things that there's decisions she made.
Yeah.
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? So like this.
Absolutely.
So, and then also like my main criticism, you know, like you got me on the tequila. No, my main criticism of her, I know, of her is just like, where's the vision for this city? The city needs vision.
Yeah.
Where is the fucking vision? That's
The finish line. Where's our finish?
Where are we going?
What are we working for?
Yeah, what are we going towards here? I think my major criticism there is like it lacks vision, and like I think because it lacks vision, then she just does what she feels like the people that have supported her want her to do, and I don't, you know, like, and for me, for me that's not a way that I want a leader of my city to act.
I do not want that job.
No, I mean like
I don't want the job.
I don't want that job.
What about them cleaning up the streets when like Biden and it's like you clean it up just for show, right?
You could do it.
You can do it.
You can do it
all night long.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout to Rob Schneider.
No, you can do
Pacifica's
it.
finest.
You can do it. Yeah.
Pacifica's
But
finest.
it's true, right? And I think
Rob Schneider.
I mean,
His
like,
mom was
You're a Rob Schneider. Like,
Jewish Filipino.
oh yeah, you are Rob Schneider, dog.
Yeah, his mom was the head of the school district for a while.
yeah.
But you know, like there needs
He's
to be
not
some.
Filipino. Sorry, good.
I didn't really like his new stand-up.
He lost me after Waterboy. Like, you know what I mean?
Just stick to
was like
just
a-
stick to
Yeah.
the
Became unrelatable.
Adam Chandler's
yeah, stick to the
stand-up
skits.
stuff.
Yeah, stick to the skits, yeah. I do like
Making copies.
Yeah. I do like
You're
Uncut
old if you
Gems,
remember
though.
that.
I do fuck with Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems. Okay, anyways.
I like how we.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. You got
how we went
making
there.
fun again.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Making
How
fun
can-
again.
No, it's like, but it's all no, it's tied in. It's all tied into each other. But
When was the last time you went to a club in San Francisco?
Oh, shit.
And not a cannabis club.
yeah, right. I know. Oh yeah.
You know, like Sambar?
Maybe like Dahlia has been doing some good things. Like Dahlia
Yeah.
has been doing some good things.
I have no
lately.
idea.
Yeah, me
what that
neither.
is.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Have you been? When was the last time you went to a club in Oakland? You're like
The other day.
yesterday.
Yeah,
see,
yeah, exactly.
see, that's the thing, right? It's shifted. Like the culture has shifted.
Oh, so much. Like
Yeah.
it's
The city's not affordable for artists.
not affordable for
True.
artists. It's not. I mean,
It's
so
barely
it's not
affordable
affordable for anybody.
Yeah.
Yes, barely affordable for
Like,
chefs.
okay,
And
so-
that's crazy.
So yeah, so like here's the thing though. Okay, so to kind of like tie like a bunch of things that were just like mentioned in like whatever.
Bunch of munch.
A bunch of munching. So
We're here, guys.
bunch of munch houses.
Psilocybin.
siphonning.
Oh, look, it only took us an hour and 30 minutes.
Is okay? So I sat on the Cannabis Oversight Committee for San Francisco.
There's a spirit here.
I know, look.
There's a spirit here.
They're like, tell this story. As the very first chair,
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
That's what they say.
You, Madam
That's what
Chair?
they say,
Madam
right?
Chair, yeah. Yes.
Why do you think I wear this hat?
I'm so dead.
I love
no,
it.
like, but okay, so the very first thing that I wanted to focus on in that position of power, right, is like, how the fuck does this shit work?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm also coming in as a citizen holding this position on a committee that I've never held before, and it was so interesting because I'm like, I'm a citizen on this, and then all of a sudden other citizens were like, you're the city, and I'm like, ah.
What are we gonna do? And you're like, I'm Madam Chair.
I'm like, I'm you.
You look behind you. You're like, what are we doing? You're like, you're like, oh shit,
Dude,
it's me.
what are we doing? I'm the
Oh,
adult.
fuck.
Fuck. So what I did is like essentially like an audit of every department.
You did an audit.
Well, I mean, as all my time as like in the committee, you can look back on it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. But basically, what I asked was like, okay, we have these permits. Like equity applicants go, they get approved. We have these permits, and like that we're trying to get to.
Yeah.
And you get this piece of paper that says that this human being is walking through this process. Take me through the process.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so because this committee has like every department on it, which is super cool because there's not a lot of committees that have that. I also found out that departments don't actually have meetings with each other, so like none of the departments know what any of the other departments are doing.
Oh,
There's,
y'all only sit at the same lunch table?
no, and like half the people in the departments don't even fucking know who other people are. It's really fucking a wild
You don't watch
thing.
my YouTube, guys? Check for me on YouTube.
Nobody knows. And that's what I learned. I was like, oh shit, nobody knows what anybody's fucking doing. So, Office of Cannabis, they had a process. Because, like, the whole thing is, like, the legislation said that you get priority processing. So I was like, okay, what's the priority processing look like then? What does that mean?
2 to 3 months.
No, years. 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Years.
For a review.
That's priority?
Yeah. So, like...
What's not priority?
Like, I don't know, 5? Like, it's very, very difficult to get things open in San Francisco. That's why so many things are closed.
Yeah.
It is not easy. And, like, a lot of places need tenant improvements and all sorts of things. It's not... Anyway,
Earthquake stuff. And,
it's really hard to get anything open in San Francisco. Like, an ice cream shop, someone was, like, sitting there for, like, 4 years. So, that's what we learned. It's just like, okay, well... It goes through one department has priority processing, another one does, another department has people assigned to it, they care about it, they're answering emails, it hits another department like DBI, because it was going through all the shit that it was going through, and like, it gets there, and it's a fucking black hole. Like, they don't know where it is, they don't know who's supposed to handle it, they don't know who's supposed to answer the emails. It took them almost 3 years just to make a spreadsheet to say who what applications did they get?
For everyone
where it was
to
in the process.
agree on the process.
Not even to get just one department to be like, here, we have a process.
Damn.
And it was probably an old ass version of Excel too.
Yeah, and the thing is, that works, but they didn't have nothing. So like it's getting dropped off there. Like I said, one department, it's like 5 different departments, you know? So it's like one department's like, we have something. The other department's like, we don't care. Literally. And then I had to be like, okay, well, you come back on this next meeting and show us what you have. Because you came to this meeting and you're like, I don't know. Like, literally. Came to the meeting, they're like, And I was like, all right, cool. Next meeting, come back, give us something else. And then they came back and they're like, okay, well, here's our Excel sheet. This is where they are. And like people had not gotten emails back for like 3 months. Like, and 3 months of rent on a space.
That'll collapse you. In San Francisco, that will collapse you.
Yeah.
I think AOC said it best, is that just the whole political system, it's very antiquated. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just like it's
where's the fucking update? Where's the update? Where's the update? How can I download the update?
Yes, exactly. Y'all operating on iPhone, like on Apple 3.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so antiquated that like you can't there's nothing can get really done. It just kind of gets lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like lost like in this time period, it's scary. It's scary how like public opinion of our power structure is, or our leadership is. Like, it's hard to even get new leaders. People don't want to participate in it. So you have very capable folks and they don't even want to step into the ring because it's like, they're like, why would I do this so I can get like dragged through the mud, like, and lose anything that I had? Like, it's fucked up. So it's like, what is our leadership going to look like next year when we go into another election season?
So do you think that like with social media, right? I know social media is currently playing like a huge part in terms of, you know somewhere?
No. I was like, after that, I was like, I need a shot. Anybody?
Social media is playing like a. Hey yo. Goddamn.
You're not supposed to have anymore. The guys were like, Gus is.
No, but like with
Gus's spirits were like, no for you.
I guess
that's enough.
That's enough for you.
That's enough.
So with social media, like, it's currently playing such a huge factor in a lot of the current events.
Leave this one.
In a lot of the current events, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to speak on it, but do you think that
It's a powerful tool.
it's a powerful tool?
So,
But do you think it's also powerful on a local level?
It's powerful at all levels.
So what kind of
Information,
what have you
education.
seen? What have you seen kind of like have the effect of on as Madam Chair that social media might have had?
I mean, truthfully, like, social media is what helped to create the cannabis equity legislation and space and conversation and all those things.
Okay.
Very important. Social media was crucial in that because that's how we share information. That's how we archive information. That's how people can, like, find it from anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's natural. It's authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's right. It's like uncut. Yeah.
yeah.
Uncut gems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like and it's like happening in real time, and it's important. It's an important tool, but it also can be a dangerous tool. Definitely something that social media is like, we're not, like you were saying, like, we came from a time where we didn't have it and we had to go weed pasting and put our messages and on screen prints and go around and actually literally like post shit up.
Literally the guy with the sign.
Yeah.
Right, that guy with the sign.
Oh, the Asian guy.
Yeah.
Which one?
With the old
Galactic?
car-
The Galactic guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to do all that shit. And then now you could do that via social media.
Yeah. Gus. Wow.
As we're rounding.
No, yeah. As we're rounding up, because this is a dope ass episode.
Deep.
We
Jen,
can go for another hour, but
We could.
We just do a part 2 later.
yes.
I like how part 3 actually.
Oh yeah,
because
and
we
that's
like
true.
anything.
This is part 2.
Jen, do you have any last words?
I was hoping to get a better understanding of you, Nina, but
That was
like
enough.
in the best complimentary way. Like, I feel like I gotta rewind this whole episode. And you are a super advanced being that cannot be contained. I don't think. I think that's why
A symbiote.
your parents were just like, let's just send her away because we can't, put her in a box or whatever.
True. I mean, my grandma, I have this really cute clip of my Lola. She was like, they cannot control you.
You make her sound Russian, dog.
Ivan Drago, I will crush you.
Do not let them take your spirit.
Yeah, so I'm like super impressed. Always, like I watch you and on like social media and like everything you do, I support, and I'm really impressed by it. So,
Yeah,
just
and I love that you said that you remember me because I did like a tarot card reading for you in a park because we were on a photo walk, and I'm like, yeah, good times, simple days, simple days.
I wanted to bring that up, but Gus was like, no,
those are important times. That's my formative. That is my
care.
Formative times. I love that. I love those times. I was with like Travis Jensen and Rasta Dave, and we were doing the SOS. It was like snapping on site, which also happened because it was like a healing process after Rasta Dave's cousin. Paris got beat up by a fucking SFPD, and like they used photography as a means of activism and of connectivity and connection, and it was really, really important. So glad that you remember that. It was a good time.
JD Fresh.
Oh. So thanks for coming.
I mean,
out.
after a really bad time, but it was a good time after a really bad time.
And so we've met in the past. I brought it up earlier, but we met when she was in high school, and I always like she stuck out because I was like, damn, she has hella energy. And
you don't say.
I mean, you've kept that energy and like hella props because you channel that towards what you believe in. And like I totally support what you believe in. Keep advocating and keep pushing, as they say.
Thank you. I feel like this is an episode of like, this is your life. It's
right?
Different for real. It's like different. There's
Yeah.
like very different markers of time and existence. And thank you all for having me here and sharing your memories with me, and then also allowing me to talk story with you all. It's very powerful. Thank you for this platform.
There's one
FREE99, bitch.
FREE99. There's one story I remember hearing. And that was when you got your wallet stolen. And then Rudy was there, right?
He was not there.
He wasn't there.
Rudy got involved.
I got Rudy involved because I needed help.
You needed help, but
weren't you with Harvey?
I was not with Harvey. Okay, this is an interesting. You want me to tell the story or no? Do we have time?
Sure.
Go for it.
It's also in the Chronicle. Apparently, it's kind of crazy. I was walking back to Conscious Youth Media Crew. Shout out Conscious Youth Media Crew. It was on Howard and 9th Street. Documentary film making program for youth that were in as an alternative to incarceration and other things.
Yeah.
But like this young Filipino cat came up, fucking snatched the phone out of my hand. I mean, my phone wallet.
Wallet.
I don't
know. Wallet.
It was a wallet.
We just hibernating everything. Weed, whatever.
And like, yeah, exactly. And then I fucking like ran after him because I was like, oh shit, I had just got it. I was like, my dad's gonna be so pissed.
Give me back my wallet.
I chased him down. He ended up like getting into a car with his cousin, and like fucking like
speeding
took
off here.
Yeah, and so first person I called actually was Rudy.
Yeah.
I called Rudy.
Shout out to OG, man.
OG, dude.
Rudy Corpus, United Players. I called him and I was like, hey, Filipino kid stole my phone in the Soma and my wallet. Like, listen, I know times are kind of crazy right now. And
you caught him and held him down. You caught the kid.
I caught up to him. Like, somebody, like, it was an interesting situation. Like, somebody, like, so there was, like, a utility vehicle that saw me chasing after him. He, like, swerved into him. The kid, like, fell, and I, like, picked him up. He's not a kid. He was, like, 22. I picked him up.
And then you Kempo'd him.
I thought about it. I was like, I could fucking stomp on his head right now. But
you
I
ever
was
see
like,
a horse dance?
I did spill my soup everywhere. It was crazy. My coconut water, my soup, it was crazy.
Do you even know not to chop a motherfucker?
And I was thinking that about. I was like, no, that's not who you are right now. And then I picked him up, and I was like, all right. I was like, I need you to give me I need this.
I need my wallet.
I need my wallet. And he was like, no, I need it. He was like, that's what he said. He was like, I need this shit. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, I was like, this kid's not right, you know? He was on Batak. There was like hella shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, because like, I had talked to his parents after and like all this other stuff.
Oh damn.
No, like this is so, you know, like he ended up getting apprehended, but what happened actually was so weird. It's so weird. Called Rudy, was like, hey, Filipino kid stole my wallet. Don't, you know, like, listen, I just want it back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just get it back to me, whatever. And then I called, you know, then I called my credit card company, and then I called the SFPD.
Rudy first.
Rudy first, though, you know, because I was like, I want to handle this in a different kind of way. And then it was interesting because, like, it turned out that it was, like, a friend of mine from the Excelsior who used to work at the Boys and Girls Club. Her mom was the one that saw it happen, and she ended up taking, like, a photo of the license plate of the car.
Oh, shit.
And then she sent it in to SFPD, and then they apprehended him on 2nd Street, and it was weird because there was, like, a fucking Chronicle reporter that was walking by at the same time and took a picture of him on the sidewalk, and it was like, ladies chase this man down for wallet. It was like the
For wallet.
Yeah. Yeah. Extra. Read all the wallet.
Thank you, Rommel. You're welcome. Thank you.
it was like hella weird, you know what I mean? It was like a fucking weird, it was just like a weird
It was
ass-
serendipitous. Yeah.
Weird. Ultimately though, like I had to go, like I went to like 850 Bryant because like after, because like they called me, they're like, hey, we, you know, this guy has your wallet, whatever. Like we had gotten, you know, this, you know, photo of the license plate, and
Were you like, wallet? No, I'm missing a wallet. All right, I'm sorry, it's enough.
ran that one into the ground.
Sorry.
And then SLPD made me go down there, and like because I had done I was doing other community work about it, like police accountability. There's officers down there that were just like, they're like, oh,
It's you.
and then they, like, I was like describing my experience, and it was like in too much detail, so they just handed me the piece of paper. They made me write the shit down myself.
Oh yeah, you wrote your own police report.
My own police report. Stupid. I was like, what the fuck are we paying these people for? But they did, you know, they treat me on the phone. But called Rudy. I also talked to the lady that was representative, like the public defender that he had gotten. I talked to her, and I was just like, listen, I don't want this kid in jail, you know, sitting there, because I don't feel like that's going to help. I was like, I have a community member that, like, does case management services. At least we know what the fuck he's doing, you know what I mean? Like, there's, again, accountability. There's some level of awareness, you know what I mean? Of, like, you know, like, they're not just, like, sitting there and then whatever. So I brought Rudy with me to court, talked to his parents that were there.
Yeah.
The judge was like, so I hear the victim wants to address the court. So he was like, this is really unprecedented, but, you know, but then, like, in my criminal justice classes, they're like, you have the right to face, you know, whatever. So I was like, I'm exercising my rights. So I stood up in front of the judge, turned around, though, and I looked at him, and I looked at his cousin, Filipino kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen. Like, I was like, you know. Like,
She started off with, like, listen.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
In front of the judge.
It's about to be a freestyle,
Yeah.
too.
I was like,
Yo.
yo.
You're playing like Mob Deep in the back.
But, you know, but for real, it was just like, I was like, I want you to stand up, turn around, and look who's behind you. The kid's fucking crying. He's like, and then the judge was like, I would do that if I were you. You know, so the kid stand.
The judge is like, this motherfucker's spitting right now.
It's like, so he turned around, he looked, and I was like, you might sit there and you think that there's no one that's here for you. But, like, I was like, your mom's here.
Yeah.
She just had a stroke. Her, you know, like her face was like not fully whatever. And, you know, his dad was there. His dad was the one that kicked him out. His dad was so, like, you know, because he was on drugs and shit and not doing what he was supposed to be doing. And, like, he was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't, you know, like, I was apologizing to me and, like, all the shit. And I was like, fuck, dude, this was, like, reminding me of my own family and shit, you know? And I was like, you might think that nobody is here for you. They showed up.
Yeah.
I was like, I brought Rudy with me. He's going to make sure that someone is watching you later, you know? You know, because I wrote out his care plan. I gave it to the public defender. I submitted it to the court because that's what I was doing anyways in the programs that I was And so, you know, I was like, I don't want you just sitting in jail because like I don't think that's gonna help. I was like, but better believe, I was like, this is never gonna happen to you again, ever.
So that's what I want to say. That is a perfect example of who you are.
Yeah.
Somebody can do the worst and steal your wallet, and you will do your best to make sure that they will be good at the end. And that's what you represent.
But like also with some accountability.
Accountability, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm not gonna just be like, let's lock you up and throw away the
Yeah.
key.
It's not like
Fair.
Dangerous
Okay.
Minds. Yeah, yeah. Kind of, yeah. Less
Yeah.
leather.
Less leather.
Yeah.
Just rounding on my final word, you have always been the same person, though. Although you wear many hats,
Like what Carmen said,
you know, yeah, you know, you have many titles. You've held you have tons of titles, right? And then you continue to grow and evolve, and you are so you're so one with the community that it's taking different levels. And thing is, you're the same person though. Like that smile, like when she smiles, she's holding her teeth in. Like usually when she smiles, when I see her, it's always smile with her whole face. If you smiles with her whole face, and it's like I say this a lot, but then there's very few people that don't change, and you haven't. You like your soul is still like you're still an old soul, right? But as far as you, who you are, you've always been the same person, and you've always been about other people. And you know, I just really enjoy your energy. I really enjoy like how you're able to share so freely. And like I said, I can't wait to hear your podcast.
That's what I was just thinking right now. I was like, are you gonna help me produce my podcast?
Well, we know a guy.
We could have it under the FREE99 umbrella. We could
That might be really cool.
We could definitely talk about that something off air.
I would love that.
And your last words to end this part 2.
Oh yeah. Let's see. What gets channeled here?
Wallet.
That's the last word. Damn, Rommel. I just really am honored to be given any space to tell story. You know, and I am again so appreciative of the archiving of people's stories that you all are doing
It's
here.
important.
Thank you.
And I think that, you know, it's gonna be so crucial for people to just be able to look back, you know, like in any point in their life and be able to see like the moments that you create here. And so FREE99 podcast, now also your own evolution of like we going from like We Eatin' to, you know, like
You're on an episode of We Eatin', Mitchell's Ice Cream.
You know, like to be able to even just have that, like I think, you know, it's like damn, we can like see ourselves, we can see each other, we, you know, it makes all the world of difference. So like thank you for talking story and being consistent and amazing and all those things. So I just want to also express gratitude for that.
Episode 201.
201 of the FREE99 podcast.
Nina Parks. Follow her socials.
Nina_Parks.
Underscore. Don't forget that underscore.
Don't forget the underscore.
That's L though. Free 201.
201.
Love,
Free
love.
T.